Hey guys, I'm here with a last minute Cursed Realm guide after a busy weekend with Abyssal Expedition and my dad coming over, and this is not the Cursed Realm. There we go. Um, so yeah, I know it's last minute, but I had a busy weekend, exams and stuff, whatever. So yeah, as you can see, I was able to rank top 29% in the Cursed Realm, which is about where I rank, around the 30% mark. I'll probably drop to 30% once the timer runs out. But if we take a look at my best team here, I'll just quickly run over my teams and then I'll run over the Cursed Friend Discord guide and where you can find that guide. Because if you're doing Cursed Realm, you want to be using the Cursed Friends Discord guide because that's just the most. I mean, that guide is just so well made. But anyways, so as a reminder, you can see I'm using Baden here. For my account, I only have 2 Awakened Heroes built, and that would be Awakened Belinda and then Awakened Soulless. Those are the 2 that I have built on my account. So I borrowed an Awakened Baden for this first team, but you're actually able to use a Soulless variant as well with Mishka, where Soulless works at a Legendary even. But I'll go over that later. So as you can see, this is my first team. Something interesting to note about this team is that when you run Odin, you want to remove his boots because, as you can see here, if you watch the Lawson link here, right, he links Rain and he links Estrilda. And if you have boots on your Odin, he would link Morrow and Rain instead, which would result in less damage. So yeah, just a quick tip, you want to remove Odin's boots for this combination. But yeah, for the second team, it's the standard Awakened Belinda team, as you can see, doing ungodly amounts of damage, and also you just want to use your best pet for this thing because it multiplies, and this is where, I mean, this is for me where I do my damage because she's the one that I have built out. For the third team, kind of an interesting team where you run the Sophia with the rock pet, but if you don't have rock pet at 9, I think you run the owl. This is such an interesting team. I always loved this team where you see Sophia running, because it's just so strange to see a non-awakened hero team that's doing well with Sophia, right? But my Sophia, as you can see, is, I mean, she is not built out in the slightest and still dropping 1.5 billion damage. So very happy about this. Also, notably for these rounds of this round of Cursed Realm, as you can see, my tree is completely messed up because of Abyssal Expedition. So I don't have anything put into the rangers. All my rangers would suffer greatly. Not that I use many rangers anyways, but yeah, this is the Sophia team. If you have Matria build, I believe there's a whale variation where you can actually replace her with the new, the Dark Belinda Matria. However, for most accounts, probably just cheaper to go with Sophia and settle for decent amount of damage. For this team, interestingly enough, I think this is a pretty interesting team. Now, you would want to run Saurus here instead of Brutus, but I needed Saurus in another team, and also you want to run Tamros here instead of Skarath, but my Tamros is not very built compared to my Skarath anyways, so that's not worth it for me. But again, I'll go over the different variations later, but this is just what works for me, and notably you would want to use the Awakened Belinda SP effect, the Awakened effect, instead of Brutus. But as you can see here, Legendary Brutus, I mean, this team is not, it's just not good, right? Everyone can see this, but it's just what I have. And for this team, this is an interesting team because this is where you would run Brutus if you haven't built, with Matria as well, and you can run, even Emilia has some use in this combination, but for me, the main thing I don't have built is Orthos. Because I don't have Orthos built, I can't really do any Orthos teams, like with the Brutus or the Emilia. Well, obviously I don't have Emilia built because you can't yet as a free-to-play player. But yeah, you might look at this team and be like, that's not a lot of damage, and then you remember that this pet was released doing almost 1 billion damage, right? So this is actually like a 2 billion damage team, which is really good. So yeah, happy with this team, happy with this pet. Definitely, I just got my resonance to level 9, and I'm just all-inning on baits everywhere because I want to get pets higher up, especially if they release pets that are equal as powerful as the seal pet, right? Because yeah, I mean, this pet is just crazy, and the higher it goes, the better it gets. So I'm just, for all the events, I'm picking baits from now on. Anyways, for the last team, it's a Scarlet team, and it's pretty simple, right? Scarlet Grass, everyone knows this. You can also use Lucretia with Brutus, but I use Brutus here instead of Scarlet. And for the fourth position here, there's a lot of different things. You can use Kassad, you can use Skirath. If you don't use him elsewhere, you can use even Antandra and Awakened Solace. And for the pet, ideally you would want the owl, but I needed the owl for this team or just flopped, so I just used the green pet. But yeah, those are my teams. Now if we swap over to the guide that I based my teams upon, professional, there we are, right? This is the Cursed Friends Discord guide, right? Cursed Friends, the best guide available for Cursed Realm. And as you can see here, they have notes for every team and what you should expect for damage. And then as a free-to-play player, why is it not recording my mouse? There we go. As a free-to-play player, one thing I always note is this, the Merc priority. Like, what do you need? So for me, I had Linda, but I didn't have Baden, right? So I Merced a Baden. But interestingly enough, you can see a big Sophia is actually more important than a big Awakened Solace for the Merc priority. But yeah, as a free-to-play player, you're always missing heroes. So looking at this up here, knowing which heroes to get is great. Alright, so for the first team, as you can see, there's a Baden variant. There's also a Solace variant, right? And if you have neither, there's like some free-to-play options down here at the bottom, right? And a lot of notes on the different pets, right? So if you use Baden, here's some pet notes, and Solace, here's some pet notes, and also here's the check the link, right? You want to make sure that link, the Lawson link, links Rain to Astrilda and not Rain to Morrow, which was what I explained earlier with the Odin's Boots, where you can downgrade them or just remove them. I just removed them because I didn't want to mess around with breakpoints. Anyways, here's the Awakened Solace team, right? And as you can see, they also write in the pet notes here, this is your highest priority for int pets, right? Just put your best intelligence pet in here because Solace damage or Belinda damage just scales so crazily. So yeah, get the strongest pet you can in here. And as you can see here, if you don't have Awakened Belinda, I don't know if they wrote it, but usually Awakened Belinda even does well at just Legendary, right? But as you can see, there's a Scarlet variant for those who just don't have her at all. And here's the Sophia teams. As you can see, if you for whatever reason have this, the new Awakened hero, or not the new, I guess Athalia would be the new, but she's not out yet. But if you have Matria build and not Sophia, she can actually sub for Sophia, but you would need Matria down here eventually. So if you have a build, you probably want her down here. But anyways, yeah, Sophia team, right? Nice to see Sophia still hanging in there. And then, as you can see here, like an Iron's variation, if you have no, for example, if you have no Vithiel and you have no Helios, right? But as you can see, Vithiel, there's some subs here, like Rowan, most people have built, you can use that instead. Just play around and see what happens. They list the Winged Lion here as the pet, but for me, I used the Rock Lizard because the Winged Lion I used up here to get even more damage from Belinda, right? Because she just scales so well with more damage and more pets and more buffs. For this team, as you can see here, this is what I talked about earlier, where you use Tamara's, but I don't really have Tamara's built, so I use this alternative number one because I needed to free up Saurus for my this team down here for the Torn Moreel team. I needed Saurus, as you can see, in these alts that I used down here. So I couldn't use Saurus here. So I threw in Awakened Brutus at Legendary. And it did, decent, right? This team kind of flopped, but I wasn't too stressed about it because I was able to improve my other teams based on that. But yeah, here you can see the different variations, right? Interestingly enough, there's some Awakened Teline variations if you build her when she came out. Right, that might do better than the Brutus variations, and there's also a Brutus variation with Legendary Brutus, right? So if you don't have Solace, but as you can see here, up here, right, Solace works at Legendary. That's what the yellow outline indicates. So for this team, this is just a clusterfuck, right? Oh, I didn't mean to swear. I actually tried to not swear in my videos because, I don't know, it brings down the mood. But anyways, this is a crazy team. Because there's so many variations, right? And for me, I didn't have Matria, so I had to go a long way down the list until I arrived here with the Moreel Torn combination, which used to be meta in Cursed Realm, but now has been phased out with the introduction of Awakened Heroes. But I still have the heroes built, so I could use this combination. But as you can see here, it's it's pretty much the Brutus show, right? And interestingly enough, you see Emilia making an appearance here, and that's because of the whale pet, right? As you can see, I keep calling it the whale pet because it's new, but it's actually just the seal, right? And they have the seal note here, which is just like you want to use the seal, right? And that's where Emilia comes in because she stalls out the battle, allowing the seal to do more damage, right? And then for the last team, you see not a lot of variation because this is a pretty pretty cookie cutter standard team. Yeah, English not my first language, as you might be able to tell. But yeah, it's the Scarlet team, right? And if you used Scarlet instead of Belinda, for example, you would be able to go down here and use Lucretia with these heroes, right? So yeah, that's the Cursed Realm guide. I hope you guys are able to score higher with the Cursed Friends Discord guide. I'll leave this link to the Discord server in the description. I can also real quick just swap over to the Cursed Friends Discord, right? As you can see here. Well, rules are not relevant. Well, they are relevant, you know, but you can't really type anywhere, so I don't know. But yeah, here are the Cursed Friends Discord guide, right? This is where you find it, and you can see the updates, right, to the guide, and also a link to the Reddit posts where they post the guide on Reddit if you wanted to look at it on Reddit and maybe read the comments for people with different ideas, different variations. But yeah, basically go here, enable notifications, and whenever the guide comes out, as you can see it came out 3 hours ago, you do your attacks based on this guide, the updated version of the guide, not the month-old guide, even though this is a good breakpoint. And one thing about the month-old guide is it also has at the top the Merc priority, which usually doesn't change too much unless some new hero is introduced. So you can look at before, you know, in the week. If you want to know what to merc for Cursed Realm, you can look at the previous guide for the rotation and find out what you should merc. But yeah, I hope you guys do well. I'm gonna do a quick Nightmare Corridor guide after this one, see if I can push these two out. But yeah, again, apologies for the late guide, but I got them out, and that's what really matters.